Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome you in, welcome you in. Lighten up me, Palo Santos. Welcome, 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 welcome you all in, welcome you all in. This will be a chakra cleansing drum session. Welcome you all in. Pray everyone is in high vibrational energy, in good spirits, and in with good spirits. Welcome you in, welcome you, welcome you, welcome you, welcome, 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 welcome. I'm just going to be letting these divine hands go. Okay. So I'm going purify. Welcome, welcome, welcome you all. Welcome you all on. Welcome you all on. Welcome you. Okay, I'm going to purify with earth. By earth, I connect with spirit through pure intent. Forest spirits work with us. May the forest spirits work with us. All praise to the Most High. Great big old ashe to the ancestors. Let's get to it, y'all. Ow. Hmm. Okay, welcome you all in. Encourage you to share this live. This is a subliminal live. Just letting my hands go. You know, it cleanses out the chakra system. It aligns them. It gets them lit. Connecting with nature. You know, I did a full body cleanse before I came out. And I'm in solid spirits. You know, I feel like one thing that we should all begin to realize about connectivity and collective energy is it doesn't require you to have a title. It requires to be genuine. It requires you to be genuine in your spirit. Your spirit life, be genuine about it, right? Don't worry about who got the title. Don't worry about who does what. Don't worry about crystals. Don't worry about stones. Don't worry about magic spells. What you should focus on is your part that you play in the collective energy, right? Who are you? Because it's going to show up in spirit. So be sincere in spirit about what you do. Be real. Be loyal. You know, when you're talking about spirituality, I feel it's important for me to say many of the places that we associate ourselves with, they become influenced by the demonic. So it's a matter of you and God at some points. It's a matter of us and the divine. And where do you stand? The sincerity of your spirit, that's your manifesting power. Not taking shortcuts. See, people who take shortcuts and do magic spells, they want something without working for it. And when you get something without working for it, it's going to come with karma. Nothing is for free. Nothing, right? Even when you're doing spiritual work, nothing is for free. Many people petition spirits to do things for them, but you're not willing to pay the price, not what you're asking, right? So why even go that route? Why infuse yourself? You know, some of the spirits that y'all worship, right? If you would live accordingly, people would lift you up when you transition. That's what it's really about. It's striving to reach, what's the potential value of your spirit? Not the spirit that you can call on, not the spirit that you can send. The spirit that dwells in you, what is it connected with? Ra, au, ra, u, ra, u, ah, u, ra, au, ra, au, ra, u. You know that one? Like, I feel like, when I do this drum roll, I know it's leggy day. You know, all respect and honor to leggy, but I feel like goon running when it's. That sound like Archangel Michael. That's Archangel Michael energy right there. What could stand against that? Look, connect your chakras to that. Whoever you are, if you listening, I see you got the hearts flowing, right? When you feeling down, right? I work closely with Michael. See? I work very closely with Michael. Let me give you something. Negativity can't stand against it. Woo, boy, you feel that right there? Yes, yes, yes. You know, it feels so strong to be building up a collective. I always say, building up my collective with the truth that's butt naked. Well, don't nothing belong to us, really. But you know, when it's time for me to transition, I want to leave behind the energy of like Paul and like Peter and like how they left, you know, like as people that was known as for real in spirit, you know, read the parables. I know you might be a spiritualist. I can dig it, you know. I am myself, very spiritual. But read the Old Testament, right? And see how people moved in the Old Testament, right? It's a testament there. It don't matter what your spiritual preference is. What are you? Egyptian pantheon, Anubis and the boys, Slavic pantheon, Paran and Mokash, Asian, Kuan Yin. Where you at? I mean, Orisha, Shango, Oshun. Where you at? Christianity? It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It's the oneness, right? Leave behind a legacy of understanding, not judgmentalism, right? You know, they got a young sister running around on social media, and, you know, she's quite confused. So in the collective, I be appreciating collective energy. Like, you know, people who see like we see, we don't really bother nobody. You know, we see the spirit of things. So we don't really bother people. You know, we don't bother with religion. I know. I love the Bible, right? Introduced me to a faith when there was none, right? So why would I forsake that? Another man, he could be the Quran, right? It could be another man with the Kabbalah. All of these are instruments, right? They ways of introduction to the divine. The divine God manifested in many different texts, religious precepts throughout history. With or without religion, God gonna show up. It don't matter. You know, religion is a prerequisite. But we go false in religion a lot of times because it offers too much earthly power. And see, the demonstration and the yielding of power is a poison unto man. It doesn't matter. We all gonna suffer from it, right? That's it. The only way to avoid something like that is to remain grounded, right? And not many are. Not many are. I was forced to be, and I'm grateful for it. See, I don't play with the energies. I don't play with the energies. You can't play with the energies. See, people play around with the energies. You don't supposed to play with the energies. They bigger than you. The energy's bigger than you. Yo, I know you might be high tech with the magic spells, and you might got the potions, and you know you might got the candle work and all of that, right? Some of y'all need to stay out the kitchen, truth be told. But I know you feel like you got some power. I can dig it. But don't play around with the energies, right? The energies is bigger than you. Spirit is bigger than flesh. Remember that. Okay? Let's tap back in. We going back in. with some divine energy. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Loving the energy. I love to just come out, connect with source. You know, this is what source is about, right? I got my feet on the ground, you know. So how y'all feeling? How y'all coming along? I love it over here on TikTok. January the 19th, they supposed to be banning this thing. I don't know. I've been kind of following it, but you know, God gonna have his way either way, so it really doesn't matter, you know. Also, you know the greatest thing about reaching your purpose and connecting with spirit and keeping that constant connection, you really don't worry about things, right? But it's the balance. Because, see, some people, they get to a level of spirituality, and if you're not careful, you be running around talking to yourself. You be running around because it requires a balance, right? Like when I first came into my spirituality, I completely detached from everything. My dark night of the soul was so critical that, you know, in my sleep state, I mean, it's amazing how I woke up and recovered. From some of my dark nights of the soul, man, I could tell you a thing or two about it. But when I reached the level of ascension, particularly I'll say the level where astral travel became real to me. Not by way of me indulging, but by way of being attacked. See, as you move closer to spirit, spirit defends us by way of revelation, right? So if somebody's doing something to you spiritually and you don't know, it's a number of it's reasons why you don't know. So spirit says get to some of them. Some of the reasons why we don't know when we're affected spiritually and we want to ask, is God allowing this to happen to us? In a sense, yes. And I'm going to tell you some reasons why. One of the reasons could be you're not worthy of getting help. What does that mean? That means that you have effectively turned away from every high vibrational ancestor in your bloodline, right? And when we do that, we become walking food because we don't have no protection. Not to mention when you sacrifice your relationship with God, right? It puts you in a vulnerable situation. Another reason why God may allow spiritual attack is so that you can ascend and grow. Like in my case, I had some karma that I ordered up on myself, so I had to deal with that. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you no lie. But outside of the karma that I ordered on myself, it was things going on in the spirit that I wasn't aware of. So when I began to get serious about my relationship with God and my spirituality, that's when high vibrational ancestors begin to move into my sphere through my sleep state, and they begin to show me what was up. Like, okay, this is what's happening to you. And I was like, oh, all right, and that was my first um, introduction to the astral world. Very bright, vibrant place. Like, it looked like, if I could describe it, I would say grand audio theft. Like, people that were attacking me, they showed up in the astral realm, and their bodies were, it was them, but they looked at illuminated. Like, you could clearly see that it was a reality indeed, but it was something I was never taught about. So therefore, I woke up out of my dream state, and I told High Priestess, she was with me during Ascension. We ascended together. I was like, "Hey yo, that wasn't no dream." And she was like, "Word, what happened?" I'm like, "Yo, that wasn't a dream." I'm like, "I saw so and so in my dream. Flat out, they was in my dream." And it was like grand audio theft. And because of my connectivity to spirit, see, I had begun to honor my ancestors. And it was good for me. So nevertheless, they showed me. And when I saw that, it's something about the mind in ascension, right? One thing about the mind, you have to make your mind fit for levels of ascension. If you need to stop eating meat, stop eating it. Whatever you need to do, I did stop eating meat. There's some other things I ain't stopped doing, but I don't do no hardcore drugs or any of that. I don't drink. I might take a beer or something. I do smoke, right? Now, that's something that I'm really dealing with. Now, everybody, that's honesty, right? Because we always got to be honest. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you got to move away from something. Like, to get something, you got to give up something of equal value in the universe. This is how you reach levels of ascension. Man, once I begin to move into different levels, it's the mind, right? Because the mind is essentially being ushered into a reality that's very real, but it's foreign to us, right? We never. I mean, I'm one of the people that believe the classy B is. I can't be the judge of whether somebody should stop forever, but I know if you free yourself up from something for a certain time, a power come in. It's like creating a void for the divine to fill. Now, oftentimes, like certain stuff that I desired, I don't desire it no more. I don't want it no more. Even one meat being one. Like, I realized when I was under spiritual attack, I was influenced by energies that would connect themselves to me, right? So those attachments, they like meat, steak, cheese steak, uh, um, any kind of steak. Like, I was on the go a lot. Of course, I was in low vibrational energy, so it would be like steak and rice. I like steak, and I was a meat eater. But as I began to ascend, and everybody different, I realized that I had to let that go because it was feeding something that was, and we all have our attachments. But when I stopped, I didn't intend on stopping meat forever. I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. And then I altogether stopped. And now I don't have a craving for it. Actually, I can cook meat and all of that for people who are around me who eat, but I don't crave it anymore. And it's only because I can see what spirit gave me when I let that go. But that doesn't mean like I still got other shit that I deal with. Like, like I'm gonna roll one up, for that. And that's reality. Like, I'm not here to be fake or phony or none of that. Like, that's not what it's about. Because half the shit that we think spirituality is about, it ain't about none of that, right? You know, being in alignment with God and spirit is being your authentic self. When you reach your authentic self, I'm talking about who knows who their authentic self is. Because if you ain't ascending, you don't know who you is. And I will stand on that with everything I believe in. If you ain't ascending, you don't know who your authentic self is. You don't even know what's in your Akashic records unless you ascending. That's a part of your DNA that knows things that your conscious mind, it'll never comprehend it. It's not meant to. You actually be protected from yourself with a lot of that kind of knowledge. Because if many of us knew who we were and we were capable of doing for real, we would use it to harm people. So God, sometimes when you when you growing into your gift, a lot of powerful gifts, they come by way of near-death experiences and other harsh realities that people don't want to be confronted with. They want a person power, but they don't want to go through that, right? And then when you go through that and you receive power, people make light of it. If you ever been in a near-death situation, you came back from that with something. You may not be aware of what you have, but if you tap in spiritually, it'll become apparent to you. Because when you go that far to where you on a near-death thread, God giving grace. Your ancestors, they giving assistance to your bio makeup. Your ancestors, they touch you up. When you get that near-death energy and you almost made, and they bring you back, it's a certain amount of things that go on in your unconscious state of a near-death experience. First of all, you agree to come back because you have a purpose. If you came back from a near-death experience, you ain't back for nothing. There's a lot of things that happen when you go through those type of energies, right? You make agreements. You actually agree to come back into your vessel. I know. That's what happens, though. That's reality. So when you have a near-death experience, you come back with something. It's all up to you to find out what that is. And even if you don't have one, you have your authentic self. You have an energy that you're not going to move in this energy by your natural power or strength or any of that. It's not going to happen. You have to ascend to move into, like, your ancestors not even going to give you what you're not worthy of. Let's be real. That's why when people go and do magic tricks, it feel good, but it's temporary. You know, them spirits that they bring like delusions of grandeur with them. You know what you're doing. When you tap into the spirit world and you're trying to rob somebody of something, right? Or you trying to essentially take a shortcut to get something by way of doing magic. Well, it's almost like committing a crime. It catches you eventually, right? So let's get back to some grooving. Yes. Live from the forest, y'all. Just enjoying it. Whoever the classy B is, thank you for the energy. It's just constant. I think I got like 2,000 hearts up there. Appreciate the love. Really do. Love that kind of energy. Like, feels good to be sitting here, y'all. Enjoy your independence. What is independence? Some people like, I ain't independent. I'm going to work every day. Let me tell you what your independence is. When you free yourself of something that you thought you needed or something that binds you, that's your independence. See, this, for me, I say, Ma'u. When I say that right there, right, I say, Christ. I say, Yahweh. Right? That's my independence. Let me tell you why it's an independence for me. Maybe not you. It was a time in my life where I was down so bad, I couldn't look up and yell nothing. Right? All I could do is be like, oh, boy, Lord. I never lost faith in God, y'all. Never. Right? Even when I particularly wasn't aware of what God was, right? In the true nature, I still had faith. Right? I thank the church for that, you know, because I was like down bad, you know. I'm like, man, listen, you know, Achille magic is a hard magic to fight back. So without the assistance of God, I wouldn't be here. Needless to say, if I wasn't a divine being, I wouldn't be here. So when I say, you know, ah, that's my independence, you know. This is for my ancestors. This is for the Ma'u. Rah. Praise, 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 praise. Ma'u. This is for my ancestors. This is for my ancestors. Rah. Praise, 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 praise. Ma'u. Rah. See? Like, so like it's called the frequency of gratitude, y'all. Come on now. Right? Gratitude. It doesn't matter where you are and what you're going through, whoever you are. And I'm not a motivational kind of speaker, right? I'm trying to speak to somebody's soul and move your spirit around, right? That's my purpose. You know, I don't look at things being, uh, you know, I'm not here to judge good and evil and all that. I'm here to be who I'm going to be. I'm a light worker, right? Now, you do whatever you feel as though you want to do, right? Because there's people that try to, they have baneful intentions and they come and I'm accused of sharing too much, right? But I stand a reason and I challenge that notion with anybody that stand in the dark and be like, oh, he overshares. Let me explain something to you. If you don't have good intentions, and you trying to take what I got to say, you're going to do yourself in. See, look, this is justice. That's the energy that I rock with. So that's what I do over here on this channel. So I really don't worry about, I'm not here to hold secrets back or none of that. I'm not here to come at nobody about nothing. You know, it's like, I know what's up. I know what time it is, but you know, I'm gonna do like Rich Homie say. I'm the type of dude who will finesse you to play dumb dumb on you niggas. Like I'm gonna do that every time. You know why? Because I already know one thing, light workers, and this for y'all. The ones that's baneful, it's a veil that they can't see beyond. Beyond that veil, they get to asking questions like, well, what's protecting that person? Right? That's what they ask about you. They done threw all this metaphysical energy at you and it ain't work. So now it's, oh, what's protecting them? Oh, you working with the devil. No, you're not. You working with God. And the devil can't see what God put together. Remember? Light shined into the darkness, but the darkness comprehended not. That's the reason why you can't expect nobody to know who you is. Now, this is on you if you want to be a person that reveals what protects you, right? But if I was you, I wouldn't. Because like I said, that's going to be the question that's around a light worker. All who work for the divine will be protected. All in the service of God going to be protected. And the metaphysical, where it go down at, you're going to be protected. Yeah, life might be a little hard for you. Life might not be everything you want it to be in the 3D, all that. Okay, but fine. But in the spirit, they can't push nothing against you. If you rocking with this collective over here underneath of what we living by, right? It it's always going to be, well, what protects them? Well, they don't follow the rules. You ain't supposed to do that, right? They tell me all the time. He don't supposed to be talking about leg bar. Why don't I? I know him the same way I know Christ, and work with Anubis too, right? And it'd be like, because people are so big on relationships with the divine through books. Okay, what happens about what's going on in your heart? What's happening and what's manifesting in you? What is your Akashic looking like? What are you doing that you done in the past life? That's what ascended people do. That's what we do. Did you know that? As we ascend, we begin to pick up the powers that we left behind. So you're going to find us doing something that we already did. We've been masters at it. We just ain't know. Like this thing. I got this thing now 3 months ago. My father was a drummer. I channel with him a lot. But I learned this in 3 months, right? It's an instrument. It's a bongo, right? And I never had a bongo in my life. I beat a couple beats on the desk every now and then. But I picked this up, and my ancestors, they said to me, that's what you was already doing before. Now do it. And that's with my hands. I started off like this, y'all. Right? If you go through my lives we do Facebook lives, I started off. The next thing I know, I'm gonna tell you the first one the ancestors gave me. I went down and seen Papa one day, one good Monday. I went down and seen Papa, and I came back, right, and then I sat down with my drum, and I was like, this came to me. I said, right, I just got that, right. That was on a Monday. So then I messed around and was talking to another one, right? And when I came back from seeing him, Baba, I come back and I had this. I had that little roll with it, right? And now I can give thanks, right? It's independence. I'm trying to show you as above, so below. Stop looking to manifest big things without getting the small things first. The small things, that's what count. When you manifesting, okay, so a lot of y'all having trouble with manifesting. And at first I did too, because I really didn't know, I say I'm living this, I'm doing this, I'm obedient. And I was gaining 10 pentacles. But see, I was looking for it to show up in the physical already. But God said, I'm going to show it up for you in the spirit. So I began to notice my gifts begin to increase and enhance. And I began to say, okay, this ain't about no money, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I see people reading on YouTube, but I say, oh, I'm seriously, because I'm meeting people in real life now. I'm like, oh, okay, God seriously gave me something, right? So I'm dealing with people in real life. And mind you, I ain't never went to tarot school. I ain't never did none of that. None of it. None of the above. I didn't do any of that. I got with spirit. And every card, it took on a meaning to me. And then I began to read. I began to, but I got the esoteric first. I was blessed. Man, I was running into people that was bound by demons. One lady we ran into, right? I ain't even gonna lie, me and High Priestess. We met this one particular lady, right? When we met her, she had all these leche beads on, right? A whole bunch of leche beads. And they were all twisted up, and her style was kind of, she was quite energetic, but she had a certain type of eeriness to her. So lo and behold, we end up meeting her, and I was able to contact her dad. I'm a spirit medium, right? It runs in my family. So, once I got with my spirit guys and my team, I spoke to her, and spirit showed me about speaking out of turn. Because when your gifts first become active, you be amazed, like, wow. But nevertheless, she was a member of a coven. So she decided to, uh, she witnessed that we had an energy on us, me and High Priestess. And I think she kind of knew that maybe we was a little bit early with it. But I had told her, right, at the beginning, because see, the energy that's with me, I already know I'm protected by something that's extremely brutal. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm a light worker, but my ancestors, they very ruthless. So when I got with her, I explained to her, like, I be helping people. I'm doing what my ancestors did. They helped people. They helped a lot of people. That's why I know a lot of people, because my ancestors knew. I always wonder, why do I know so many people? But now I realize ancestors done a lot for a lot of people. So I'm like, okay. But I told her, I was like, I don't know what you're dealing with, but whatever you're doing, keep your intentions pure towards us, right? Man, she decided to burn a candle in our home. We let her sleep there, and she burnt the candle while we was gone. And lo and behold, let's just say it didn't end well, right? And I was just like, you know, why do people test and temper with with when people are chosen to do something by God, you gotta leave them people alone, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, and that's the thing I be trying to stress to us as a collective. Don't use your power to throw it at nobody. Man, work that shit out a different way. Because it brings a karma. And when you're dealing with ancestors, they finicky. Like, they like to, they'll accuse you of something. You do something to somebody, their ancestors, they'll take you to court. Be your ancestors and their ancestors in court. And next thing you know, whatever's decided be manifesting in real life. That's how it goes. So let's be real and real intentional about what we're doing, right? Be careful. You never know who's walking with who. You can't just assume, right? Even when you're dealing with, like, for instance, you got certain spirits that fall on people. Like, take a spirit like, let's just say, the Babalawe, right? Orisha spirit. That can fall on somebody that don't have no knowledge of it at all, none. Or indeed, or let's just say the Holy Ghost, right? You're a Christian. That spirit, that pure and light spirit that come on Christians and they speak in tongues, the pure and light-hearted one. I'm talking about the ones with the powerful intentions, right? That spirit can fall on anybody who God chooses to. The spirit of Buddha, the Gautama, it can fall on anybody, right? The same way Allah, it can fall on you. Like, we got to stop looking at people. You don't know who a person was in their past life, nor what their blood connected to. Yeah, they may be running around in the 3D acting like any old thing. That don't mean that's who they is, y'all. Don't assume that somebody is one way just because they showing up in the 3D doing things that's contrary. Don't do that. Leave people alone, because that person's soul can be connected to something, and you don't want to be the catalyst the unlock. You don't want to be a person that throw yourself against a person who's a spiritual beast, and then you unlock it. You don't want to do that, because I'm gonna tell you, when a person become wise enough to let their ancestors in, they foes in trouble. Just remember that. When you grab hold to the wisdom, and you understand that your ancestors, the high vibrational ones, they there for you. They big A-class protectors. I let mine in. I chose to be wise. So you should do the same. So I'm going to get some little more energy out before we get away from here. Light is eluding us. Let's see what we can do. Yes, yes, yes. Well, tribe, until tonight, 12 a.m., that's the manifesting hour. So we be on 12 a.m. Probably be doing some zodiac readings. They posted on the page, so if you're new here, you can check the page. We do zodiac sign readings. Pretty accurate, particularly for this collective over here. So I always say, if it don't resonate, please don't hesitate to go. May not be the place for you. But for those that it does resonate with, love you all. Be encouraged. I mean, as well as Ashe.